Okay, since it's the weekend, this is Saturday, about 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and the market is closed. I figured we could just do a short video here on maybe creating a couple baskets. Of course, this will be looking at last week's data yet. Normally, I'd wait till the market opens to get some fresh data and then look to see to create some baskets. Now, this is not a recommendation to buy these or sell these baskets. It's just a educational video on how to create a couple baskets, and then you take a look at them and see if you would actually trade them. And of course, you would also check your news, any upcoming news events that may affect the pairs or the currencies that you are going to be trading. And at this time I can't do that because I don't have an update for news events for next week yet. I'm still looking at the ones from the previous week. So we'll just create a couple baskets and give you something to look at, and I'll give you an idea what you can do next week when the market is open. So the first thing we want to do is load our basket writer onto our chart. Just hit OK. We'll use the defaults for now. And it comes up OK. And basically, I'm interested in the 1 hour time frame is usually what I basket trade. So the other ones you can glance back at them and look at them and see how the same pairs, or the same currencies, their strengths compared to the 1 hour. And in this case right now, when you're looking at the 1 hour here, you can see the dollar is very strong and the pound is very weak. And that kind of shows you up here in the core splits, the same idea. Dollar strong. Remember, the currency on the left is the base pair, and the currency on the right is your quote pair. And in this case, it's showing us that these ones that are in green here are always are at the present time anyway moving in the upward direction, and the ones in the red are moving in a downward direction. And they are kind of, like you see all the red ones here are kind of correlated at the present time. They are moving in the same direction. Same way with the green ones. They are correlated all to the upward direction. Now, since we're going to be looking at the dollar currency pair, maybe currency to build pairs baskets out of, we can look over here at the 7 that are in the dollar basket over here, pair basket currency. And as you notice, these 7 over here are actually identical to the 7 core over here, because the dollar happens to be in all of the 7 that are in the core. But over here we'll look for now. So what we want to do is, remember, I always look for something that's greater than 80. And in this case, I kind of like to look at the red ones here because we do have 4 of them that are quite strong in the negative direction, and they're all way over 80. You look at the green ones, we do have 2 above 80. So let's build a basket using these 4 red ones for now and just see what it looks like. So the first one I'm going to click on is the pound dollar. Then we're going to use the New Zealand dollar. And the Aussie dollar. And the Euro dollar. And one thing I should have done before I did this was I should have changed the name of the basket. Right now, remember, its default is test. So what I'm going to do, just clear out the tabs. I'm going to stop the robot. And since I know I want to build a dollar basket, I'm going to go back to the experts properties, and I'm going to change this test to USD. That way I know better what it is. And click OK. And then we just enter them in here again. pound dollar, New Zealand dollar, Aussie, and the euro. Okay, those are our 4. And clicked Write Basket. And you notice now it comes up with the USD with a 4 after it, which Basket Writer puts the number 4 after it. And be sure you check your pairs, make sure you didn't double click on one of these and got them wrong. As you can see, we have the 4 correct pairs. And we're going to create a 1 hour, 60-minute chart. Remember to put the name in here. And it is USD 4. And the same way down here. And click OK. And that should create that basket. Now before we go look at the basket, I think what I'll do is I'm going to create one more basket. And we'll create one using the pound. Since the pound is real weak, let's create a basket using the pound. And if you look up here, you can see we have 5 that meet my 80 criteria here under the pound. So let's create a pound basket, and out of these 5 pair. Now remember, before I do that, I'm going to go back, stop the robot. I'm going to change that name. From USD, remember, I'm going to change it to pound. And click OK. Okay, now we're going to click to do the pound one. The first one is the pound dollar. And we get the pound yen. And the pound franc. Pound Aussie and the pound New Zealand. Should be 5, right? So we got 5 of those. I'm going to click Write the Basket, and you notice it comes up with our currency pound symbol here with a 5 after it. Make sure you check, make sure they're the right ones. And then again, we just go down here and change this so we can find it in our list. Click OK, and we're done. So that should have created 2. Now clean out the list. Since I'm not going to be using the robot right now, I can just stop him. And if I want to, I can even remove them. Now if you look at the indicators, remember we got 2 indicators on here running. These are creating those 2 baskets that we just made. You have to leave these open on the chart, and you have to leave this chart running, so do not delete these. So now we're going to go up, and there are our 2 offline charts. So we'll open up the first one, and as long as I'm here, I'm going to do is open up the second one at the same time so we get them both open. Okay, now remember what I said before. Go back over here, open up your indicators, and just click OK. That way you make sure your charts are refreshed correctly and are updated. Now we can go back to our charts, and I have a template that I call the plain one, which I'll put on here and hit refresh to get it to refresh. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other one here. And now remember, these are 1 hour charts. So one we're presently looking at is the 4 pair, or the US dollar, and this one here was the 5 pair for the pound dollar. Now you got to kind of look at these and decide what you're going to do. not going to give you any suggestions or nothing at this time. Now if I hit sometimes I like to get as much history as I can on the chart to get some idea. Now this one, you notice, that's as much history as I got, so I'm going to hit the plus key one more time and hit the refresh. And as you can see, we are in a down movement here, as we showed before. And if we look at the dollar, see how much history we got. That's all the history we got. So hit refresh, and you can see we're in a downward move there too. So it's your choice on just how you would trade these. If they don't look like they're tradable at this time, too strong of a downtrend, you may want to wait for a pullback. It's entirely up to you. Now, a lot of times it makes it easier to see what's going on too. Also, if you change to a line chart, gives you a little bit better idea of what's going on. You can see where it's been. Same way with this one here. We'll go up to a line chart on it. And as you can see right now, this one looks like we may be into some area of support here. Now it's best to look at charts, get used to looking at them. But there are some indicators out there that you can use if you're having a hard time seeing where the support and resistance are. One of those is it's called the II subtheme. And basically what the subtheme stands for is supply and demand. Now you may want to look around the internet, do a Google search, and get an idea what they're talking about when they say supply and demand. And we can also put it on here if we want to, just to give you some idea. And hit F11 again so we get the full screen. This may help you if you're having a hard time seeing where supply or support and resistance or supply and demand are. These green ones on the bottom are demand areas, and the red ones on the top are your supply areas. And the rule of thinking when trading like supply and demand is if you hit a supply point up here, it means there's an oversupply of traders wanting to sell, and they have a tendency to sell and the price will go down. And the same way down here, if you hit a demand area, you end up with traders who want to buy, which should drive the price back up. Or you can look at these as resistance up here, supply, support down here. Depends on what your way of thinking is. I'm not telling you one way or the other. It's up to you. But you can use this indicator if you want it. It gives you a little bit of a help if you're having trouble seeing where these support and resistance areas may be. The smaller ones like this, I don't pay too much attention to because they have a tendency to redraw as the time goes by. These can change on you, these smaller ones that have just been formed. It's basically the longer ones that you're looking at. So it's up to you how you're going to trade this, if you're going to trade it at all. You may not even want to trade this. It's been in a downtrend here for a while now, and now we're in a little bit of a consolidation. Stretch this out a little bit. And we are coming up on maybe some support down here, so you may not consider that as having enough gain for you. Maximum would be 140 if you caught it right out of there. So that's something you're going to have to look at, but this has basically been an exercise in just picking some pairs that you think look good and build a basket, and then look at the basket to see if you think it was tradable. Now this one might have been a good tradable one here if you would have caught it right here a few days ago, if we would have been looking at it. Because we could have seen it was at a little consolidation here. This area, maybe we could have played this as a breakout, and then we could have caught it down to, maybe picked up 300 or 400 pips. Same way with this one. Looks like you got maybe some support right there, and that one broke out of that and went down. So we may be a little late on these. This one looks like it's continuing down, but like I says, I wouldn't even be playing these right now. I would wait until the market opens, and then could even leave these charts up, wait till the market opens, and then go back and look at them and see where the price action is going to. Because right now on these here, I'm not even showing enough history, even though I'm going back to October of last year. I'm not showing enough history to even see where there's any support down here. In a case like this, it may even help to go back to your basket writer and create a daily offline chart of the same pairs and see if you can find out where the next support would be. In a case like this, you can see it's down here, but on this basket here you can't see it, so you may be wise to build a daily chart with the same pairs, offline chart, and that way you may be able to see where your next support is, where this thing has been. Because like I say, this is just the 1 hour chart. Okay, so for now I think that'll do it. Remember, these are not examples to trade. These are just examples showing you how to pick a basket and try it and see what it looks like. And be sure you check your news.